Video bites from ulearn.photography. Here's our principal, Simon Q. Walden.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Quick Video Tips. And I just wanted to talk about one of the pieces of software that I use, which is a product called ACDSee. And essentially it's my alternative to Adobe's Lightroom. Now, Adobe Lightroom probably is the most prevalent digital assets manager out there. Now, digital asset manager is just a fancy way of saying it's a great way of organizing your pictures. And of course, if you are a Lightroom user, then you know that it's more than that. It also lets you do editing to your images as well. And it has some quite powerful tools in there. But I don't use it, despite the fact that I know it's probably the superior product. I use ACDSee instead. Why? Because ACDSee is built on a different premise. It does not work on the premise of this independent catalogue of images that you work on, and where the editing process is import the files, work on the files, export the files. Instead, it's live, direct from disk to disk. And for the way I work and the way my workflow works, that's been absolutely crucial to me. And in fact, my studio workflow actually relies on moving files through different folders in the file system. That lets us coordinate what stage of process each of our files are at, each shoot is at. So it starts off in a raw file, a raw folder. From there we move it to a work folder, which is our cold list. Then the work folder gets edited, cleaned up, post-process is required, and then it gets moved to a process folder. And at that point we know that it's ready for viewing by our clients. From that point it then goes to a selection folder, which is the actual choice that the client has made. And we'll do our further final cleanup and post-processing on those. And then in turn it will then go into one of several other folders, a print folder if we're producing prints, a CD folder if we're producing digital images. And then once that's all wrapped up, we move it over to our done folder, which marks that this is essentially a complete project and is now ready for archiving store. There's no way to reproduce that system using Lightroom, because Lightroom would require you to re-import each of those stages. So ACDSee just lets you flick through folders, instantly catalogues them as you move to the folder. And it's that little bit that just makes a complete difference to the way that I work and really supports the way I work. And it's true of so many pieces of software. You know, we tend to go to the market leader because it's the market leader, but there is a price that we pay for that, which is that we have to work in the way that that software works. And that's not always good for our creative processes.
Subscribe now for regular tips and updates. To find out more, go to ulearn.photography.